All right, let's further discuss this now with Mustafa Caner, who's an assistant professor of Iran studies at Sakarya University's Middle East Institute. Thank you, Professor, for being with us on the program. So according to Pakistani mediators, Lebanon was initially included in this deal. However, we do continue to see Israel continue to invade the south of the country. How do you think this is going to impact negotiations over the weekend?
We know that Iranian sides are insisting Lebanon should be part of the deal. Iran cannot exclude Lebanon out of this picture because of the intense connection between Iran and Hezbollah. Hezbollah joined the war in the first place for Iran because they are part of the same so-called axis of resistance. So if Iran abandons Hezbollah, it will reverberate on Iran's regional footprint, and it would disrupt Iran's holding in the region, like other groups also associated with Iran's axis of resistance would question Iran's commitment to those, connections and how Iran is going to back them if they, were subject of similar attacks by Israel or other actors. So it would produce very negative outcomes for Iran's regional influence. So that's why Iran is not willing to abandon Hezbollah out of this peace negotiations. But in the first place, Trump administration seemed to accept that, including Lebanon also on the table. But I think then Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu, affected the process somehow, and Trump tried to be more aligned with Israeli position. So that's why Trump changed his mind.
Do you think that this, the issue of Lebanon on its own will be a reason for the collapsing of negotiations? For
sure. To me, from the very beginning, I was actually defending that Lebanon is part of this war. So Lebanon, in some sense, could seem a separate front, but in the essence, actually, it's part of the war with Iran, because Israel's calculations were like, if we, could open another front on Iran or Hezbollah, we could weaken Iran's resilience. And that's what their calculation was, actually. So from the very beginning, Lebanese front was part of the war against Iran and part of the strategic calculations of Israel. So that's why we cannot imagine that a ceasefire in place on Iranian front and not on Lebanese front. We cannot separate from these two fronts from each other.
So they go hand in hand.
So, yes.
Okay, Professor Mustafa Caner, thank you so much for that analysis. For now, I appreciate it. Well, an Israeli advocacy group says